In a bid to tackle the devastating effects of flood and erosion menace in Delta State, the state government has entered into partnership with the World Bank and the federal government. The state governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, while launching the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project in Asaba, the state capital, stated his readiness to enter more partnership in his drive to provide lasting solution to erosion, flood and other environmental challenges. Mr. Okowa also confirmed the payment of 530 million naira as counterpart funding and the initiation of remediation projects in 5 communities in the state.
Delta State is one of the many states plagued by flooding, as predicted by Nnamdi, a situation that has continued to give residents as well as the state government sleepless nights. In a bid to curb this menace, the state government is partnering Nnamdi, a World Bank environmental intervention scheme, to manage erosion-related challenges. The relationship kicks off at the Unity Hall in Asaba, following the state government's payment of the sum of 530 million naira as counterpart funds to tackle environmental problems.
I am to reiterate that the state government is alive to its responsibility of providing the enabling environment to promote and sustain these projects.
The intervention is expected to begin in 5 communities, and the representatives of some of the communities present are happy about the initiative.
We in the Traditional Council believe that this occasion will not have come at a more auspicious time.
There will be no disturbance from the beginning to the end of the project.
To ensure the task is properly delivered, the representative of the World Bank assures the beneficiaries of transparent processes.
Over 80% of what the project will be doing shall be through the procurement process. However, the procedures are very clear. They are transparent, candid, value for money, and verifiable.
The state governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, expresses delight over the project and charges the committee to expedite action towards its completion.
Obviously, we are in a hurry to do well. We are in a hurry to solve the problems of our people.
With over 100 active erosion and flood-ravaged sites in Delta State, the launch of Nnamdi in the region can be said to be very apt as global climatic changes impact environmental activities, giving rise to challenges of varying proportions.
Achieving a successful marriage requires not just love but patience, mutual understanding and effective communication, so says speakers at a forum put together by the Rose of Sharon Ministry in Lagos. The speakers, were mostly pastors and motivational speakers, were unanimous in their opinion that married and intending couples can make the best of their relationships by applying these time-tested virtues.
Virtually every week, across the country and beyond, this is one occasion that is so celebrated: the union of a man and a woman in holy matrimony. However, in recent times, the joy and happiness a couple celebrate on their wedding day are sometimes truncated by a variety of issues. Whether grave or minute the challenges that pop up, some couples have had to look in the direction of separation or outright divorce as a solution. Universally, the number of divorce cases has become a source of concern. In Nigeria, though, owing to traditions and culture, that number may not have been effectively captured, but has since become an option for most troubled unions.
You can do better for the King of Kings.
Perhaps to underscore the need to check that statistics, the Rose of Sharon Glorious Ministry put together this forum tagged University of Marriage Conference with the theme Unlocking Deadlocks in Marriage. Participants listen with rapt attention as various speakers explore issues that lead to marriage deadlocks and how couples can handle them.
If you are not ready to work hard, don't bother to go into marriage. And if you are single and you are listening to me right now, please close one eye in prayers and open the other one in watching or looking before you get married.
When you forgive, you are not doing that person a favor. You are not doing your spouse a favor that has hurt you, but you are doing yourself a favor. You are telling yourself, God, I am in partnership with you. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Don't tell me, man, that men are naturally polygamous. That is a lie from the pit of Satan's hell.
While marriage is relative to the family, its success or failure, according to the convener of the conference, could have some effects on national development.
Our marriages need to be stable. It's in our stability that we can multiply. And it is in our multiplication that we can be stable as a nation. Even if you want to run for office, one of the first things that they look at to see whether you qualify is whether you have a stable home. If you don't have a stable home, how can you rule and run the country?
Hallelujah, Jehovah, you are the most high.
What better way to end the forum than with such melodious tunes? Another way of admonishing already married and intending couples that love, patience, and understanding are indeed vital to achieving a happy union.
The huge potentials of converting industrial, municipal and domestic waste into wealth by way of proper management is again being brought into focus. At a sensitization rally in Kaduna, an environmental and waste management expert, Mrs. Basharun Abiola, says aside from taking advantage of the tons of waste generated from a large population like Nigeria's, it is also a huge source of creating jobs and diversifying the economy.
What do you do with an exponential population growth in a country like Nigeria? What do you do with the possible potential from that huge number? Well, some folks in Kaduna State have asked themselves that question and have found answers. They are interested in waste to wealth management in Kaduna State. Nigeria's population is even estimated to hit 250 million by year 2050. Imagine the tons of waste that will be generated from that population. So, this street march, spearheaded by ZL Global Alliance Nigeria Limited in partnership with the state government, is to first educate the populace on proper waste disposal and how they can make money from tons of waste.
Now we can use basic, things we have in the house like sacks and buckets to effectively manage our waste. The effect of indiscriminate dumping of waste around in the gutters, in the waters, and you can see this flood going around in Nigeria. Lagos was hit. Some other states, Niger, I think now Kogi was just hit. And to God's glory, we're getting it right in Kaduna State. So we want to be perfect by making sure that we're not doing it alone, we're doing it together.
Before this campaign, ZL Global Alliance had embarked on clearing of refuse across Kaduna metropolis and its environs in view of proper disposal and management.
I have evidence that Kigo Road residents usually would move out of that place because they were usually engulfed by flood and move back after the rains. But we have videos showing that since we evacuated the Kaduna River and since we have been doing effective waste management, they are there.
Two state officials couldn't agree any less on the need to pick up wealth, littering the streets and crannies.
You can see there are a lot of development going on in the land. And the resources the company is putting towards these services is giving results.
This is the beginning of a long-term partnership between government, the private sector represented by Zoom Lion, and the communities through which we are going to work. That is the essence of it.
For the company's management, the successes recorded so far underscores the gains of a public-private partnership.
Accusations and counter-accusations is how to best capture an incident that happened at the residence of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, in Umuahia today. While supporters of the IPOB leader claim the army opened fire on residents who came out on sighting an armored vehicle, injuring some people in the process. The army spokesperson for the 14th Brigade in Ohafia told our correspondent that it was the residents who threw stones at the military officers. The State Commissioner for Police, however, says normalcy has since been restored to the area. This incident is coming barely 24 hours after the Nigerian Army said they would begin its second phase of Operation Pt.2 in the southeastern states. 3 host communities for the proposed Enugu Lion Business Park have been paid compensation in the sum of 300 million naira by a Chinese company for the 2,000 hectares of land and valued economic crops on the project site. A Chinese firm, in collaboration with the Enugu state government, is to establish an industrial market on a public-private partnership structure, which will see the entry of 300 Chinese manufacturing firms in the state. Commending the foreign investor and the 3 communities, the Deputy Governor, Cecilia Ezilo, describes the development as another effort by the state government to drive investment promotion in the state.
While urban development is core to Enugu State, similar attention is also being paid to human capacity development as the state government takes steps to build industrial hubs for wealth and employment opportunities. To set this ball rolling, the Deputy Governor, at a meeting with representatives of a Chinese firm and members of 3 communities involved, highlights the benefit of the project.
There is certainly no denying the massive benefits that the industrial markets will bring to the economy of the state, as it will stimulate investment inflow in diverse sectors of the economy and create a huge economic value chain that will engender employment as well as production and availability of much needed goods and services to our people.
The chairman of the Chinese firm, Lion Business Park Limited, assures the state of their commitment to meet up with the target.
So on behalf of all the partners with Enugu State government on this project, I want to assure the governor that the company will achieve its mandate in a record time.
It's time for the presentation of a 300 million naira check to the host communities as compensation for the acquired land. For them, it's not all about the compensation, but the fact that development is finally coming to their land.
Any people that is advanced to development and investment will be blind forever. The people of Akamoy community, the people of Ogofia community, and the people of Enugu community welcome this initiative wholeheartedly.
The Lion Business Industrial Park is modeled after the Dragon Market in Dubai and will facilitate Chinese manufacturers' entry into the state to feed the Nigerian and African market. It is also designed to create a manufacturing and integrated industrial hub in Enugu State and the southeast geopolitical zone.